What's going on, everybody? Welcome back. As you see, we are at it again with some more toys to show you. Today we are going over the 7 sets actually that I have of the Rick and Morty Lego style sets that were put out by McFarlane in, I believe it was 2021. But right here, as you can see up front, we have Morty inside of Rick's time machine spaceship. Now all of these pieces do fold in and it makes a complete ship. That came as part of this set here, where of course it's the classic Rick in the garage with his workbenches. Every set gives you these extra plumpuses, so I just have them randomly in these sets. Like I have Mr. Meeseeks holding one, but of course we know from the episode he's there for the cube there on the top shelf. Over here we've got Summer and Snowball from that episode. If you know, you know. Over here we've got evil Rick and Morty coming through a portal in the living room, of course holding some extra plumbuses. We've got the alien from the Szechuan episode. Of course, that gave us the resurgence of Szechuan sauce at McDonald's. We've got the guy from the TV commercial with ants in his eyes. We've got my favorite character, Scary Terry, with his little dungeon scene. Love Scary Terry. Of course, Mr. Poopy Butthole there. But yeah, those are the 7 sets that I've collected. Pretty cool. I'm surprised they didn't come out with more, but honestly, I feel like Rick and Morty has had quite the downfall over the years, considering that they lost Justin Roiland, who does the voice for almost all the characters. And then you also wound up losing Dan Harmon, who was the main creator, or at least I believe it was him and Justin Roiland who created Rick and Morty. But Dan Harmon, he was working on cartoons like this well before Rick and Morty came out. There's a short cartoon, you might be able to still find it on YouTube. It's called Mr. Sprinkles. And just like Rick and Morty is related to Doc and Marty from Back to the Future, Mr. Sprinkles is kind of a spin on Cat in the Hat. So if you haven't seen Mr. Sprinkles, go check that out. It's a really interesting cartoon, very similar to Rick and Morty. Same style, same attitude, same humor. But yeah, that's the McFarlane little Lego sets, and let's go ahead and check out some more toys, shall we? Real quick, I just wanted to show you this cool Rick inside his spaceship Funko Pop that I have. Now, I have quite a few Rick and Morty Funko Pops that I actually did not think about until now, but I have them packed away, so I will be doing a Funko Pop episode in the future. I will make sure to put those in there because I have quite a few of Rick and Morty exclusives and, rare ones. But yeah, this one's really cool. This is my favorite little shelf piece Funko Pop. Takes up quite a bit of space, but it's worth it. It looks cool. But yeah, let's move on to the next toys here. And then real quick here, we've got my American Gladiator set that I just recently bought. It's probably been about a year now since I bought it. But ever since they released the documentary about the American Gladiators on Netflix back in, I believe it was like 2022, 2023, man, it brought back so many memories of the American Gladiators for me. I used to watch it all the time as a kid. I used to have the NES video game. And yeah, that show had me hooked. I had to go online. I found any action figures I could. And luckily, I was able to find a pretty decent set at not too bad of a price. The only characters I'm obviously missing are any of the girl figures, but it's probably because they were only available in package and the seller was probably asking way too much. But yeah, here's my American Gladiator set. I forget all their names, but these two have their names on them. The gentleman in the back we got is Gemini, then we have Laser, and then I forget this guy's name, but I think these two figures to the right are both the same character, just two different models, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong, but... And then we have Gemini, another one. And then I think the other one, in the red, is just a contender. But, yeah. On to the next toys. I actually just realized that these both have their names on their shorts. We have Nitro, and this one is Turbo. Okay, so those two do have their names on them. Okay, here are some random figures that I have here to the side. This is a sweet Carnage. I would say this has got to be like a 8 to 10 inch figure here. but it's really sweet. I think I bought this on Amazon. It comes with different hand attachments, all the crazy little, wiry, slimy web things that you can have coming off of his body. He's got multiple heads that you can put on him. Very cool little sculpt, The symbiote taking over his human face, or maybe when he wants to reveal his human face. This one here, we have almost looking a little venomish. I don't know exactly what this head is supposed to be, but very cool looking. And then he's got these like Freddy Krueger looking Wolverine claws. These are pretty sweet. Put those on there. Really cool sculpt. I think I only paid like $25 for it on Amazon. But yeah, really cool. Look at those claws. It's like a mix between Wolverine and Freddy Krueger. Very cool. And then of course over here we've got some Spider-Man figures. I don't know if this is supposed to be the Night Monkey outfit, or I don't know. I know there was a time in the Spider-Man movie where he like flipped his suit inside out and it looked kind of like this, but I do believe this is supposed to be the Tom Holland Spider-Man, just judging by the spider on the suit. And over here we've got good old classic symbiote suit from the comic books. This one's painted really cool. I like the light blue highlights on it. It gives it that very comic booky, coloration to it. This one I need to get a stand for. This is definitely one I want to pose onto a shelf. I love that classic, spider on there. Looks so cool. Then we've got this Prowler, which I'm not sure what toy series he's a part of, but his body's like see-through. You can see the little pegs where they snapped his two halves of the torso together. But yeah, everything's like clear blue. Not sure what this goes to, but yeah, cool little figure anyways. Kind of goes with the that Spider-Man in the Multiverse cartoon. And then we have a Miles Morales. This is a alternative costume. This is pretty sweet though. It's got like a drawstring hoodie on. This is a cool little style. I don't recall ever seeing him wear this, but very cool looking. Another one that'd be sweet to pose on a figure stand, Over here we have a Deadpool. I just wanted to show you this one because when I was showing you guys in my other video, there was a Trunks Dragon Ball Z figure that I had bought and then I had to repaint. This is another one that I repainted myself, just using the simple dry brush technique. Now when I got it, I ordered it. It came from China. Some of the paint's wearing off from putting it in different poses. As you can see, there's like a teal color coming through. And that's because he was originally the X-Men colors. He was like a blue and yellow. But when I got him, he was more so like a teal, almost green and yellow. And he reminded me way too much of Kick-Ass. If you're not familiar with who Kick-Ass is, just look it up. It was an awesome movie. It's a comic book. But yeah, he looked way too much like Kick-Ass, and I had to glue his katanas on his back, and they broke off. But as far as the painting goes, from originally being blue and yellow, he turned out pretty sweet. He's a little dusty and dirty right now, but you get the point. Sometimes you can repaint your figures and make them look the way you want. Over here we've got a couple Funko Pops. We've got the good old Ben Reilly Scarlet Spider. This is hands down one of my favorite Spider-Man designs. Very cool costume. Even his other costume that you will sometimes see Ben Reilly in, where it's more so like a normal Spider-Man costume, but the spider on the chest, it just goes super diagonal across his torso, much like the one on his shirt does there. But it's a big, giant scale spider. Then, of course, we've got the 2099. This one is from the Miles Morales in the Multiverse. Or, why did I say it like that? Spider-Man Into the Multiverse. Or Spider-Verse. I forget what they called it. And then, of course, back here, we've got the Todd McFarlane Spider-Man cover from the Amazing Spider-Man 300. And the Funko Pop to match it. Now, I did show this in one of my other videos, but since I'm showing you a bunch of other Spider-Man, I might as well bring that back out in case you didn't see the other video. Okay, now I've got a couple just complete random figures over here in a box that I want to show. We've got a Killmonger here, aka Eric, from the Black Panther movie franchise. Also in the comic books, not just in the movies. Then some other randoms here. I've got a blue Power Ranger. I'm not even sure what part or what series of the Power Ranger he belongs to, but I like the Power Rangers, so I went ahead and picked them up. These are a bunch of just random figures I picked up for cheap. They were all selling together. This is the Silver or White Ranger. I'm not even sure. Then we've got a Black Power Ranger. Yeah, like I said, I'm not sure what series these are part of, but I love the Power Rangers, and they're still cool looking. So, still going to buy it. We've got a random Batman figure here. I believe this is from Batman vs. Superman. Pretty beefy figure. I mean, it's dense. This thing is well made. Crazy. Yeah, I don't think I have that one. We've got a rando Master Chief in here. It's almost like a G.I. Joe, but the little joints, they actually like click into position, which is nice. You know, you bend the elbow and stuff, or maybe it doesn't bend at the elbow. No, it doesn't bend at the elbow, but the knees, when you bend them, they like lock into position, which is pretty cool. Give it a little bend here. Let me see if I can do this one-handed. Yeah, so like it snaps into the different notching positions. That's pretty nice. And we've got a couple Ninja Turtles here. This is a random Raphael. He's missing a hand. What happened to your hand, buddy? Got nunchucks. Is this supposed to be Michelangelo? That's awfully red to be Michael. Yeah, it's got the M on the belt. Wow, that's a very red Michelangelo. I gotta find out what happened to his hand. Maybe it's floating around in this box somewhere. Oh, there it is. Yep, his hand is attached to this little turtle grappling hook staff thing that he came with. I'll have to reattach that. Here we go. Here's a real Michelangelo. This one must be based on like the first movie or something. Looks very similar to the way they looked in the movie. That's a pretty nice figure. Bends at the torso. You've got the articulation at the elbows and at the shoulders. Knees, feet, toes, articulation. That's pretty nice. We might get a character stand for him. And then we've got another Ninja Turtle here. We've got Leonardo. Looks like it's from the same series. But yeah, these look identical to the way they looked in the movie. I'm going to have to look these up. He's got his katanas. Yeah, that's what was nice about is I seen all of these randomly in a box. But they all have all their pieces and most of their accessories, it looks like. So it wasn't too bad of a deal. I think I grabbed the box for like 20 bucks. Can't beat that for that many figures, especially in this kind of condition. Awesome deal, no matter what. Let's see if maybe I could see what it was part of. But yeah, all right, let's move on to the next ones. Okay, I've got a couple random Simpsons Treehouse of Horror figures here. I was able to find Homer and Bart, which was cool because, of course, I mean, you got to have both, right? And yeah, I'm not sure what episode this is from, but the thing that I liked about it the most was the fact that I found these and they are unpunched. So they've never been hung up on a retail shelf or on one of those hooks. So yeah, I don't know. Maybe it'll add a little bit more to the rarity and price later on. Who knows? But yeah, if you know the episode these are from, let me know. But these are just some random figures I found. Pretty cool. Moving on. Here's some things that are a little bit of a blast from the past, except for these are a way more modern version at a much smaller scale. I forget the company name, but they make these miniature Lego-ish looking toy sets. This one, of course, is, you know, your He-Man and Battle Cat. Then you got Skeletor on Panthera. But these are so cool. Like the Panthera is even flocked. So it's fuzzy just like the larger scale one that you might remember from the 80s. Then behind him, we've got Howard the Duck, which is a new figure that I just found. He comes with this random head in a jar. Don't know what that's all about, but Howard the Duck, he's classic. Behind him, as you can see, we've got some Trolls. These are from Burger King in the early 90s. I believe the whole set was a set of 4. But these are the only two I seem to ever see and can ever find. So if you guys have the other two and would like to sell them, hit me up. But yeah, these are usually the only two I can ever find, and these are the only two I ever remember there being. Over here we've got Coneheads. Got Beldar here, played by Dan Aykroyd. And then we've got Primat, his wife. I forget her name, but she is a SNL star. I mean, she was in the same crew with Dan Aykroyd, Bill Murray, John Belushi, Gilda Radner. Back here we've got this awesome Starscream figure. Hang on, let me move these to the side. Camera's having a problem focusing here. Starscream from the original cartoon movie. This is awesome. Like I've said before in previous episodes, I love Gundam figures. I love Transformers. Anything like that. Robot style. Mech suits. But this is a cool figure, man. He just sits up on his throne. Awesome. I love this piece. Let's give it a quick spin around so you can kind of see it from the angle. You can fold him, of course, into his jet form as traditional Starscream. Or, like me, you can just have him chilling in his throne looking all badass. Next, as you can see, we've got some Beavis and Butthead figures here. I've never seen Beavis and Butthead figures before. But more recently than ever, you are going to start seeing more merchandise for Beavis and Butthead because they just brought the show back not too long ago. And it's doing pretty good. I actually like it. For it being so long since Mike Judge has come out with any new Beavis and Butthead episodes, the new show is actually pretty good. I like it. I watch it over and over. But yeah, those are pretty cool. Alright, let me show you something else. We've got a little Mini-Mate set here with Wolverine, or Weapon X at this time, along with Lady Deathstrike, who has these fingernail-like claws that come out of her hands that just so happen to be made out of adamantium as well. I believe she was another government experiment, just like Wolverine, and they end up being enemies. I only remember ever seeing her from the cartoon. Yeah, him and her had like, I don't know, it always felt like they had some kind of past relationship where they were like in love, but now they hate each other. So anytime they see each other, they just want to rip each other's faces off. But neither one wins because they both have a weapon of equal caliber. So yeah, pretty crazy. And then another Simpsons toy. This is a new one, part of the new series that they brought out. Still made by Jax. But yeah, Bartman. This was always my favorite, just because I'm such a Batman fan. Drawn right to it. Love Bartman. Eventually, I'll probably collect them all. I'll wait for them all to get a little bit cheaper. You know, over time they will. Eventually, you'll be able to find these in a bargain bin for like $5 a piece, I'm sure. But yeah, for now, I just have Bartman. And then lastly, I've just got some rando Funko Pops that I've just got chilling on my shelf. They don't really go to any collection I've got going on, but I had to buy them when I seen them. So, as you can see, we've got good old Toxic Avenger. He glows in the dark. Couldn't pass him up. You do not come across Toxic Avenger stuff very much. We've got the classic Green Ranger. Gotta love him, especially since, I forget his name, but the actor for Tommy just recently passed away. I believe it was last year. It's sad. He was my favorite Power Ranger. Down here we've got Dave Wooderson from Dazed and Confused. We've got this cool Barnes & Noble exclusive Haunted Mask Goosebumps. This right here is a Funko Pop series I am very happy they finally got onto. I will be collecting all of them. We've got the clear camouflage Predator, which I love. That's the coolest one I've found yet. And he's got the splatters of glow-in-the-dark green blood on him. Then over here we've got the famous concert that Blink-182 did where they all came out on stage naked. I'm not sure if they were fully nude, but I believe they were. They had nothing on. But this happened in the early, maybe even the year 2000. Not sure exactly when that concert happened, but you guys look it up. It actually happened. But yeah, those are just some random Funkos. I will be doing another video on some more Funkos that I do have, as well as I will be doing an episode on my Gundam figures. Yeah, so that's going to do it for this episode. Hope you enjoyed. Make sure to like and subscribe. And until the next one, later.